Hello, I am back. I have no idea when this is gonna be picking up the feed again. Um, Hold on. Okay, that was fun. Uh, Hold on. I'm trying to set this up. Normally, I'm not on camera for this part. Actually, I have no idea if it's gonna pick up this part. Ba da 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 da. Lives? Cool. What? Cool. Sweet. Da, 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 da. Um, I am back. I had a little bit of a panic attack. Just a little baby one. Just a tiny baby one. Yeah, that was not fun. My partner. Okay, so this is what apparently happened. I'm gonna lower this a tad bit. Apparently, so yesterday my partner was complaining that their abdomen was hurting. Um, and they were like, "Oh, I don't know why it's hurting, but sorry, but it does not feel like when they had kidney stones because they've had a lot of kidney stones. They've had their gallbladder removed. They've just had a lot of shit happen with their like bloods and guts and stuff. So have I actually, but regardless of that, they, I like was full ready for them to say that they were gonna admit themselves into the ER. Just the way that they were messaging me, like, or that they were heading on their way, or like a coworker is dropping them off. But they decided not to go. They had already passed, so they passed the stone while at work. So lots of fun. I was freaking out, and I had a little bit of a panic attack. So I had to sit for a little bit and hang out to feel a little bit better. Um, so no ER, hopefully, for now. Um, they need to go see someone to make sure that there's nothing else just lodged up in there, just ready to come on out. Like, because they have, they've had surgery before, twice, and a gallbladder surgery as well. But yeah, no, so like this is something that's can happen to them. They're prone to it happening. And that's because they don't drink water. So you know what? Hydrate before you dihydrate. Your life may be a mess, but at least you can be hydrated. Just drink some water, please. Everyone out there. I know fucking you got your what is it? Prime energy drinks, your Ghost energy, the Kickstarters. No, drink some water too. It literally like just drink water. Please drink water. That's my partner's biggest issue is them drinking water. They don't do it. And look what happened. They had a freaking kidney stone. Ugh, sorry. Now I'm like worked up because I keep thinking about it. Cause okay, so here's some history. My partner, sorry, I needed to do that real. Meh, 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 meh. Hello? There we go. Okay. My partner, last time they had kidney stones, they decided to drive themselves to the ER. That's real dangerous. It's really dangerous. Like, you should not do that. It's not safe to be on the road like that. And when I got there to the ER, they were like literally sprawled out onto like 3 chairs, just laying there, like cupping their torso. And I'm like, this isn't good. Obviously, it's not good. But yeah, so I decided to come back. I decided to do like a react just to a rotten mango, mostly because I felt bad ending so early, even though I should not feel bad ending to that early. But I also got confirmation. So, they said if I wanted to go work tomorrow, I can. Like that, I can still do that. So I'm gonna take the hours. I'm gonna take the money because once again, I do these things and I'm not getting paid for any of this. I'm just here blabbing away. Um, so that means I will do an earlier stream. I want to be on the road at least. God, is school's back in session? I have no idea. If schools are back in session, I want to be on the road by 3:30. If schools are not in session, I'm gonna be on the road at 4. Because the first class is at 6. Uh, and I don't want to be like driving in 5 o'clock traffic. That doesn't sound like fun. But I still also need to take into account that I need to go to the grocery store because I'm running out of Ensures. Once again, Ensure, if you want to sponsor me, some of your flavors are trash, but I will give it to you. The chocolate one is not that bad. But I literally just need to buy a shit ton of those things and like place them in the fridge already for me to consume. Anyways, so yeah, so I thought maybe just enough tonight. Rotten Mango, 1 episode, and then I'll call it a day. So, Rotten Mango. Is there anything new up? Sorry, once again, there's something that literally got published an hour ago, and I don't know if I want to do that one. So let me click here. Videos. Okay. Yeah, I don't know if I want to do that one. Oh, that's interesting. Twin cups of cheese. Oh. Okay, sorry. I don't think you can read any of these. Hold on. I just realized you can't see anything that I'm looking at. Hold on. Properties. Hold on. I need to resize this. More. Da, 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 da. Okay, one more. One more resize. Hey, that's about perfect. Hell yeah. Cool. Hold on. I want the background. I'm going to add the background literally to every single thing that I have. Because I hate the black. I literally hate seeing black bars. That's existing. I think it's 3. Okay. And then gotta move. No, hold on. Image, move. Order. Order. Move to bottom. Okay. Did it do it? Hold on. I wanted to show a little something. Okay, there. That's fine, right? No, that's not what I do. I love how none of you can see this and I just sound like a crazy person. I think that's okay. Cool, cool. I did it. I did it. I did it. Who did it? I did. Okay, sorry. I'm like reading some of these titles and I'm like, these are crazy. She married her son. A congresswoman adopted 55 children and turned them into killers. 25 men stalked 1 girl. That's not good. Unsolved billionaire murders. Operation college girl misread by such odds for being an international spy. The beast of Columbia that Uli sold his soul to the devil and sacrificed. No, I don't want to do anything about sacrificing. Let's not do that. She's too pretty to kill. I feel like I know this story. Have I done this one? No, I did this one, right? The TikToker killed the people. But I feel like I know this story. Do I know about this one? Now I don't remember if I watched this one or not. Okay, also, I have to, also preference. I've had too many concussions in my life. I have horrible memory. So if I have seen this one, I'm so sorry. Anime girl goes viral for stabbing crush and now has a fan club of men waiting to be killed next. This seems very familiar. Maybe I won't do that one. Hold on. Honorable student kills mom with cast iron skillet and steak knife to hide her college secrets. Some of these titles are wild. I'm not even gonna lie. Sorry, this is such odd music to be going on in the background with literally Rotten Mango here. Okay, I don't want to be here forever, so that may limit it. I kind of want this anywhere to be an hour to an hour 20, or hour 30, I mean. Probably the best way to do this. How long was this one? Oh, this only hour 7? Maybe I'll do this one. But I have a bad feeling that I know this story. I feel like I do. If I do, or if I've mentioned it before that I know this one, I'm so sorry. But I kind of want to do this one. I don't know why. I think because of all the art. Why is there art? Burning Sun. Okay, wait. I know. Okay, for a fact, I will never react to this video. I have too many horrible things to say. So I will never. I've seen this one. I actually think I saw someone else react to this video. So I'm not going to do this one. But I feel like maybe that's what it is. Did I see someone else react to this one? I don't remember now. Let me just play it. I'll play it. It'll be fine. Hold on. I'm going to put it... hold on. Full screen. I'm waiting for this to catch up. Sorry. I'm waiting for my side. What I'm using is a side monitor. I'm looking at that to see if I need to resize anything. I don't think I do. I think I'm good. Okay. This is what we're doing. Hold on. I want to make sure all the levels before we press play. I'm going to higher this a tad bit more because once again, this is the main focus. Here we are. Cool. Yeah. No, that looks fine. Yeah, that looks definitely fine. Okay, cool. Here we go. Pressing play now.
Bada bing, bada boom.
Bada bing, bada boom.
4 a.m. in Tokyo. A
Okay.
woman named, let's call her Mika, is walking back home from this long night out. She had gotten through all the anxiety-inducing parts, so she's gotten through the street, the parking lot, and now she's in her lobby. It's well lit. You most likely need a key card to get in, and she's kind of letting her guard down just a little bit. She turns the corner and she lets out a blood-curdling scream. 4 a.m. in an apartment building lobby.
Okay.
She just wasn't expecting to see this sight on the floor tonight. Like smack dab in the middle of the apartment lobby's cold floor, there was a pretty 21-year-old woman just sitting.
Okay.
That's a weird sight, just like in the middle of the floor.
No,
She's just wearing a t-shirt as a dress. It's not covering much. She's sitting in the middle of the ground, smoking a cigarette,
Okay.
and having a casual phone call with a friend.
Okay.
Her demeanor
Hold
was
on.
so calm.
So far, like, that's not weird. Maybe in Japan it's weird. Okay, like, maybe that in Japan it's weird. I've been to many places where just someone is just, like, half naked sitting on the floor. I also go to very strange places. So that could be it.
And chill. It's as if she was sitting in her own private living room talking to her friend on the phone.
Okay.
But she's not. She's sitting in the middle of the apartment lobby floor, and there is a half-naked, bloody man dying behind her.
Like, actively dying?
Covered in blood. His blood. It's like she was guarding his body. The girl covered in blood would later explain, "That's the love of my life."
Okay, no, okay, wait, hold on. So, actively dying is sitting. She's guarding his body. Like, did someone else kill? No, if they're both covered in the blood. But then, you can get covered in anyone's blood if they're actively dying behind you. They get shot? Maybe I haven't heard this one. Maybe I have. I don't know. Now I don't know.
And I was waiting for him to die. Mika didn't know what to do. Because she doesn't know if this girl is armed and dangerous still. She has no idea. I mean, this is just all she's gathering in like 2 seconds. She calls the police, and then she snaps a quick picture of this scene.
Isn't that against the law? Oh.
This photo would later go viral, and men from all over Japan would start messaging Mika, asking her, "Do you personally know the bloody girl in the picture? Because if you do you know she's single now? Because I want her to date me. And honestly, I'd let her stab me."
What?
That does not surprise me at all. As someone who works in an industry that is closely related to talking about, fetishes and whatnot, that doesn't surprise me at all. There is a giant crowd of people that, like, want to be, like, stepped on or hurt and things like that. And so that literally does not surprise me. So
this is the story in Japan of a girl that was deemed.
Also, okay, cool. I don't want to kink shame, but, like, this seems like it was unconsensual. So that's why I'm rolling my eyes, because if it's like an unconsensual scene and someone is actively actually getting hurt, that's where I'm like, what the? It'd be different if both of them are, like, into, like, a kink play where this is, like, a part of the kink. Obviously not to the limits of, like, someone actively dying. But yeah, no, like, not trying to kink shame anyone.
Too beautiful.
If you like pain as a form of gratification.
To kill.
Oh yeah, I forgot how cinematic these, like, intros are. My shit is busted. Rotten Mango.
As always, full show notes are available at rottenmangopodcast.com. We enlisted the help of our wonderful Japanese researchers for this case.
Ooh.
As always with these international cases, if anything is lost in translation or if there's another aspect to this case that you discovered, please let us know in the comments. And with that being said, let's get into it.
Okay.
The realtor did think it was kind of strange.
What?
Okay, maybe it was, like, more impressive than strange that such a young...
That was, like, a weird stock image.
Nice apartment.
Okay.
The apartment needed a deposit of $14,000.
Damn.
The rent each month would be $1,000.
Okay, that's not that bad.
I'm assuming that Japan works like Korea, where you actually get the full deposit back, but it's just still, that's a lot.
I love how $1,000. Obviously, I think they're translating it from, like, currency wise, right? Because Japan is yen, correct? Or is it won? Or is won Korean? Now I don't remember. Whatever the currency is, I know that, like, it's 1,000. Like, I'm guessing that they're already exchanging it to, like, US dollars. honestly, that's less than what I pay for this apartment that I'm currently in right now. But if it's like luxury, like it seems like a luxury place, like okay, cool, shit. Get your apartment, get your bag.
A lot of money to have in one sitting.
Yeah.
How can a pretty 21-year-old girl even afford that?
150.
But the realtor's like, maybe I'm just being judgmental, you know? So she shows the 21-year-old around.
Mm-hmm.
This is the main bathroom, fully renovated. The apartment was so stunning, the girl said she was so happy with the place, she wanted to sign the lease immediately. The realtor's thinking, maybe she's got rich parents. She could try asking, is your family moving in with you as well? No, just me and my boyfriend.
Oh, okay,
He's
cool.
moving in with me later this year.
So maybe
He
it's
just has to get his
shared.
job first.
Maybe it's shared like income.
It sounds like the girl is in a loving relationship, right? And they got concrete plans to start a future together.
Mm-hmm.
Unfortunately, the boyfriend she's talking about isn't aware that the two of them were dating. He wasn't.
Yo, I literally thought she was about to say that he's not aware that she's looking for apartments for them. So being like, oh, surprise, look at, I've been looking at apartments. Do you like it? Should we move in? He don't know he's in a relationship? Then that's not a relationship. They're not together.
Wasn't aware that he was going to move in with her like that, or that he was going to quit his job at the end of this year. And he also wasn't aware that she was going to stab him in the stomach in bed to make sure that he didn't flirt with other girls. But the realtor,
A lot of things.
he thought, well, we are close to the red light district. Maybe the young girl makes her money at a hostess bar. Until she saw
Oh.
it on the news.
Oh.
So the business of love in Japan is huge, and a lot of it is dominated by hostess and host clubs. Which, side note, this was before I was doing visuals, but we have an audio podcast episode about Lucy Blackman from a long time ago. It's a British woman who went to Japan and worked at a hostess bar in Japan.
Okay.
She was abducted,
Oh.
assaulted, and killed.
Oh.
I'm gonna link that below.
Fuck.
That was probably my first real deep dive into hostess and host bars in Japan, and I go really in depth
So-
into it. Give it a listen.
Okay, real quick, while that's happening, I'm going to check the OBS one more time to make sure that these levels seem good. I'm going to hire just a tad more. So, like, in the sense of host clubs. So, okay, I think I know, like, a generalization of what host clubs are. Through media, mostly. I've never, like, been to one. I personally don't find anything like obviously offensive. There's probably nothing really offensive about it. At least from all the ones that I've been exposed to so far, and the concept of it, I've never been like one who was like, oh, like that's weird. That's like a little off or something like that. But something I feel like there's another shoe that's gonna drop at some point.
It's a heartbreaking case.
But also, so sorry for the person that got abducted and killed for just working in a host club. There's probably more to that story. I don't know. I don't know that one, but yeah.
Find hostess and host bars very fascinating because of how straightforward it is.
Yeah.
Hostess clubs, they cater towards stroking a man's ego,
Yeah.
making men feel like the top dog, the alpha male, the manliest, most impressive man in the world. And then host clubs are the opposite. It's a bunch of male hosts making women, clients, feel beautiful, young, and wanted. And you would think that being so blunt with this transactional purchase,
No.
the intention and all of that, it would just be lost.
Yeah, okay. So, like, it's literally like the industries that I'm a part of. A lot of what my jobs are and what I do as a performer and an online person on certain sites, a lot of it's the exchange of they know that majority of people know that this is an exchange of this is just purely a financial exchange. You give money, I give service. It literally is a service. That's what I provide. A lot of people provide. Even within like burlesque, if we talk about burlesque, the service is you pay ticket, you tip me money, I engage with you during a performance and continue to remove clothing in a teasing manner. Like that, like same thing. Same with pole dancing. You come in, you pay ticket, you tip me, I dance, make eye contact, do all the movement and entertainment for you. Like that's it's completely an exchange. Same thing with like I'm assuming within host clubs, it's an exchange of you pay fee. I'm guessing. I'm guessing it has to be like a probably like a one time fee. But no, they do have. If I remember from some things, like they have like regulars. So I don't know if they have like set up like payment plans or things like that. I don't know. But you pay money, you get to spend time with that person. It's an exchange. It's just an exchange of energy and resources. And yeah.
Because it's almost like, hey, call me pretty, and then you call me pretty, it doesn't mean anything anymore. But no, humans want what they want.
Mm-hmm.
And they're willing to spend a lot of money for it.
How much? How much are host
So
clubs?
let's start with hostess clubs first, because it seems like they came around first.
There's that makes
a lot of different types. I go over it in the audio podcast for Lucy Blackman, but I'm just going to break down a few for you, the main ones for you. The no-touching hostess clubs.
Okay.
These are just like regular bars, but with a twist. A group of corporate salaried men will walk in. Either they're a group of colleagues, or maybe they're with clients that they're trying to sign. They'll walk in, and the hostess bar is filled with pretty young girls. A pretty young woman will greet them and escort them to a secluded part of the bar. So unlike most clubs and bars, the customers are seated pretty far away from each other. They kind of have their own private section so they can truly feel comfortable.
Oh.
Then depending on how many drinks they've ordered, depending on the size of their party, some hostess clubs go hourly, some go by drinks, some go by a minimum spend. A group of young women, attractive women, will come out and sit with a group of men.
Okay.
The rest of the night, these women will stay there. So they're not like waitresses where they're like, everything good? Like, I'm going to walk away now.
Yeah, because they exchange you the money.
They pour your drinks. They take shots with you. They giggle at your jokes. They ask you questions like, wait, how do banks work again? I have no idea. You're so smart with things like this.
Yeah.
And then they let their little eyes twinkle while you tell them the most mundane, boring facts about banks.
Yep.
Even though she probably knows like half the stuff that guy is saying is like wrong, she just goes along with it.
Yep.
Makes him feel like he knows the equation to success and the meaning of life. If a man grabs a cigarette, the hostess is ready. It's so smooth. She's got a lighter. She's lighting it while maintaining eye contact.
That's kind of hot.
A lot of the salary men, that's what they're called in Japan, salary men, are wiped after work. And the last thing that they want to do is entertain a client and make them laugh. And in places like Japan and Korea, drinking with
finish the sentence.
clients is such a big part of the culture. I guess it's kind of equivalent to like golf with clients here in America. So,
okay. I do know that drinking culture, because once again, drinking is the only legal form of drug consumption. Besides, like, I think cigarettes, I think tobacco is legal as well, right? But, like, there's tobacco and there's drinking and nothing else is anywhere remotely legal. Like, everything else is illegal. So I do know that that's, like, a big form of, like, being able to let loose and, like, things like that. Once again, this is all from just me consuming media from those parts of the world that I and, like, you know, seeing just people that live there go visit there and talk about this kind of stuff. And, oh my God, there was something else that they said, and I was like, oh yeah, no, that makes sense. That, you know, work culture in general there, in a lot of Asian places is great. Like, it's pretty intense. So, like, that makes sense that, like, that kind of business of, like, they don't have to do any kind of work. They can just monetarily have the attention of someone. And you know what, to be honest, when I was on the height of one of the platforms I was on, majority of it was I was doing calls with people and literally just asking them about their day. Like, I would sit there, mostly clothed, and just say, how was your day? Did you have a good dinner? Did you, like, get like, did you visit anyone fun? Like, just things like that. Like, just literally talking about their day. Like, nothing else had to be done for them to want to. They literally just wanted comfort, and they wanted just like one-on-one attention. That's all they really wanted. And it like didn't have to be like, I had one client that used to tell me all the time, like I don't have to be in appearing a certain way during our calls. Like I can be like just myself, and like I can, like, they literally just want a companion. So I'm guessing it's kind of around the same way, that like they're so overworked that they just want companionship without having to put in the effort of it, which makes a lot of sense.
Imagine doing that on your 10-hour time after you've already worked a 10-hour day.
Yeah, no,
Chinese
see?
too. It's all like based on interpersonal relationship
Yeah.
and a lot of drinking. It's like, you want to do a business deal, you gotta get wasted.
It's
That's crazy.
insane, like the amount of liver problems that are probably being caused by work.
Yeah.
And like, I know a lot of people think that host and hostess clubs came about in Japan because there's some sick, twisted need for stuff like this. It's actually not. It has more
Probably.
to do with the work environment.
Oh, okay,
Society's
cool.
work
So
pressure.
I was correct.
So all these salaried men, they're expected to go drink with their clients after work, entertain their client, but they're dead wiped. They're so tired. So they bring them to these hostess clubs. And these hostesses now do their job. They're
Yeah.
entertaining the client, asking questions, making the salaried men look good in front of the client. And they have really high social EQ. So they know which company or which employee is paying. They will constantly flatter them in front of the client to make them more influential and powerful. This is crazy. At one point, it said that 90% of the open tabs at hostess clubs were being paid by major corporations.
It makes
Not
sense
So
though.
smart.
It's
Crazy.
really, it
Not
makes
by
a lot of
individuals,
sense though.
But literally companies that are like, hey, employees, go blow off steam. Hey, bring the clients there. There's
Yeah.
an open tab.
It makes
It's
a
actually
lot of
considered
sense
a
though.
somewhat respectable gathering place for business talk or transactions. If you go on a lot of Western media websites, they'll make it sound like a club, but it's not really. Now,
Okay, so here's the thing. There are similarities. Similarities in the sense of a lot of it is also people that are coming in to let off steam and to also not have to put in so much effort and so much work socially to have a certain interaction. But yeah, no, like just to like write it off saying it's exactly the same. There's no exchange of actual any kind of like physical action happening. So okay, yeah. So in the one hand, I can see how it could be said it's similar. It's a service, but yeah, no. Like if this is just like all they are is praising people, unless they have a praising kink, I guess, I don't know. But yeah, no, it doesn't seem the same at all, really.
the hostess will stroke the
Besides
man's
that.
ego while encouraging him to buy more drinks. It's usually etiquette for the customers to buy the hostess a drink if they're getting a drink. So instead of buying one overpriced shot, you're buying two. And it's always just water for the hostess. The bartenders are in on it. Everybody knows what's going on.
Yeah.
Because she's got to drink like 80 shots a night.
Yeah, I was about to say
It's usually
that's
all
like
water or
club
a tiny bit, just
rules.
water down all the way. By the end of one hostess's shift, maybe she has 80 shots.
Yeah,
That's $400 to the establishment, and she'll probably get half of that, which is $200.
Okay.
Now, some surveys show that girls that worked 5 hours a night for 6 nights a week at these hostess bars made anywhere
wonder how the
between
tip-out system
$2,400
works,
to
too.
$3,600 a week, which is around $9,600 or $14,400 a month.
That's crazy. Okay, one, I'm pausing again. I'm so sorry. I'm a pauser because I like to get my thoughts organized and out. And I'm really, really sorry if you watch this and you're like annoyed as shit. But I'll probably not change. I am so sorry. Am I sorry? No. But what I wanted to say was, I wonder if they have a tipping out system like clubs have in America, because we aren't just, I think, more in the Western world. I actually have no idea if there's a tipping out system. Most likely there's a tipping out system in like Canada, right? I have no other place. Like my only favorite reference that I know about like kind of stripper culture and like club culture and club like dynamics is within America and I know a little bit into what's going on in Canada. But for the most part, say you are a dancer and you're performing at a club, a lot of times, like, whatever tips you make, you have to pay people out. You have to pay the bartenders, the bouncers, the DJ. Like, for some clubs, or for most clubs, I think it's like, if you want to be like on the main stage, you also have to pay a certain fee for that spot and for all of that. um it's shitty. Dancers should be unionized. I believe that there should be a union. But once again, I'm not fully immersed into that culture, so I really don't get a say. um but I do know for a fact a lot of people like the sentiment of not legalized but decriminalized. That's what the community, for the most part, at least from what I've heard and what I've seen and who I've talked to, that's majority of what they say. They just don't want to be criminalized anymore for a lot of things. So, well, that's actually for sex work in general. Anyways, I digress.
That's not including bonuses, commissions, personal tips, and gifts given by the clients.
I was about to say, how's the
Hostess
tips?
clubs, if someone comes in requesting you by name, they're like, hey, I want to sit with Stephanie, you get like $100 just for them dropping your name.
Yeah, no, that makes
There are
sense.
some hostesses that make close to 6 figures or even more than 6 figures per month. Now, there are different levels
shit.
to hostess clubs. You've got gentlemen's clubs, and these are the ones where a lot of nakedness is involved.
Oh, okay.
There's dancing. This is kind of more on par with the Western strip club.
Okay.
Then you have no pants cafes. I thought this was so interesting. I never knew these existed. It's quite literally a coffee shop, but the hostesses are naked from the waist down.
Oh, shit.
You can't touch them. You can only look.
That's kind of cool.
But like, imagine just being served your espresso martini, and then, they're all naked. There's no pants shabu shabu shops. There's no pants karaoke shops. But
Those
no
are
touching.
that's kind
Then
of cool,
there's
though.
touch available hostess clubs.
Okay.
There's a word for it in Japanese, but customers are allowed to grope hostesses above the waist whenever they want.
Oh, okay.
Wow.
But nothing below the waist.
Okay.
And nothing underneath the clothing.
Oh, okay. Then I
Then
feel like
the
that's
most common is the no touching hostess clubs.
okay.
If you try to touch the hostess or proposition her for anything, you'll be thrown out.
Oh.
Now, how much do the managers actually enforce these rules? It just depends
Very
on the
good point.
class of
Yeah.
the hostess club.
Yeah.
The more expensive a club, the more strict they are in no touching, no groping,
That makes a
no
lot of sense.
conversations. At the end of the day, it's like Disneyland. That's how they call it. That's what the hostesses say. It's a fantasy that's
Mhm.
being sold. So is Disney. The
Yeah.
customer is the most important man in the world, and you can't wait to jump in his bed one day, but you can't because the stars aren't aligned for that, and you would get fired.
Yeah.
But you love him so much. It's a fantasy. You get paid, the client gets an ego boost, and everybody wins.
Mhm.
And interestingly enough, okay, before people are like, oh, that's crazy that they do this in Japan. Interestingly enough, Japanese men are the most observant of the rules, and they're the most transactional, meaning they get what they pay for, and they're very content.
Yeah.
It's said it's usually the Western or foreign travelers, the passport bros, that will start screaming and yelling when a hostess does not let him touch her.
Fucking bitches. Like, there is that phrase internationally of the ugly American, like, for a reason. It might not just be Americans, but like, we are known around the world as the ugly foreigner. There's like, I went to Italy and there was just like literally like depictions and caricatures and like graffiti everywhere, literally talking about the ugly American and like just how we act around the world. And it's really shitty. It's really bad. But like, that makes me upset, but also does not surprise me.
Yeah. Okay. Crazy. But once a customer becomes a bit more of a regular, how do you keep bringing them into this hostess club?
Yeah.
There's something called dohans, and just everything that I say for a hostess club, there's almost an exact equivalent for a host club.
Okay.
Just the male to female version, right? Now, this is another chance for hostesses to make more money. It said dohans can bring in an extra few $1,000s, up to like $10,000 per month,
shit.
additionally to the payment that they're already receiving.
Oh.
So they can make like $20,000 a month. Some clubs don't give you the option of not doing tohans, but tohans are private dates with top clients. You go
Okay.
on a dinner date with a client, then you say, well, I have to go in for work, but I don't want to leave you. You should come back to the club with me. Call your friends. Come back to the club, and usually the men spend more and more money at the club
Because they're already
doing
drunk.
these
They already
tohans
drink.
with the girls. He gets to enjoy an evening out with an attractive young woman. He feels like he's getting looks by passerbys of like, how did he get such a young, pretty woman? He must be rich. He must be special.
Wow.
It looks good for him. He becomes more attached to not even the girl necessarily, but to that feeling.
Yeah.
He becomes attached to that ego boost.
Yeah.
How he feels about himself. So he keeps going to the club, keeps going to tohans. The hostesses, they win because technically they make more money and they get free meals. But the reality of it is, I'm sure, is
A lot
terrifying.
scary, yeah.
I'm sure it's scary what clients try to do when managers and bouncers aren't around. And speaking of managers, managers at these types of clubs are a different breed. And this is kind of pertinent because one of the people in today's story is a manager at a hostess club.
Okay.
Managers, they watch over the girls like a gambler with a hand of cards. That's how they're best described. Every girl in a club has their own strengths and weaknesses, and the manager has to utilize them like little weapons. She has to do it carefully. Hostesses are in and out of each table, constantly swapping, but it's done in a way where the customers, they don't feel weird about it. It feels natural, like a river flowing around, trickling down.
Oh.
A lot of the hostess clubs will operate by the hour. So get this, there's a science to it. Right upon entering, customers are seated with the most attractive girls.
Okay.
They sit down with the girls, they start drinking. If they're not connecting, the girls are seamlessly swapped with new girls. But it doesn't seem like, oh, they're not connecting, let's swap them. It's more like, oh, I gotta go real quick. And then new girls come over very naturally. But if all goes well, the top girls, they stay. And the main goal is to get to the customer for that second hour mark.
Okay.
Because even if you pass the 1 hour mark by a minute, they have to pay for that full second hour.
Oh.
And then the manager will immediately take away the pretty girls that they just spent an hour connecting to, swap them with new, less attractive girls. Now, if the clients want the original girls...
That's mean phrasing, but I understand. I understand the logic now. I understand what they're trying to do. But, like, imagine being in that second group and they're like, yeah, you're the less attractive group. Go over there so they want the other people back. I guess either way, you're getting paid. So, like, I think that would actually hurt my ego a little bit. Because I've had that situation before. I used to work at, of all places, a Ross Dress for Less. I used to work at a Ross Dress for Less. And the Ross Dress for Less don't have an overarching structure on how to run a store. It is independent on each branch who's the manager of that branch. So it's not like set for every single store. It's run that way. The one that was running mine, and I am going to name drop them because they're a bitch. And I hope that they are, still struggling. Bianca. They'll probably never see this. But you know what? I'm still going to name drop them. I overheard them talking about how they kept trying to keep prettier people by the front of the store to get people to come in and stay here, and keeping ugly people in the dressing rooms. But didn't disclose that was the structure that they were going to do. Because, like, okay, it's different. Like, because I know that was, like, the structure for, like, Hollister. Because one of my friends, literally, their job, I'm pretty sure it was either Abercrombie or Hollister, was they just consistently organized the front room that was right next to the window on the men's side so that guys would come in and ask for their help. Like that, like that's like a part of the business. Like it's like laid out. It's like very apparent that they got hired because they are conventionally attractive and work that area to bring in more customers. What they were doing, Bianca, Didn't disclose it to anyone. People kept wondering, why am I always being put, like, this is not the job I was hired for. I was hired as a cashier, but they keep putting me in the dressing room, and I don't know why. Then I overheard it, caught the bitch. She's like sobbing, crying, say, don't tell anyone. Called corporate, told them, told everyone else, and I'm pretty sure she got relocated. I don't play around. Like, it was fucked up. It was really mean. Because, like, once again, people were hired to work in very specific departments. And if they're working in those, like, if they're working there and they're only really trained in that one department, then for you to come in and then be like, never mind, you're gonna work all this next, like, forever in the dressing room, like, where they were not necessarily trained, but also, like, they put someone who is not trained in cashier and put them up there. Like, it didn't make any sense. It didn't make any sense. It was a horrible situation. I was really glad the day that they said that they no longer ran that store. They also got caught, like, marking down things and stealing them. Anyways.
Back, the manager said, ooh, sorry, you have to specifically pay for her, which is an additional couple $100 for an hour.
Hold on. I missed something. Go back.
Main goal is to get to the customer for that second hour mark.
Yeah.
Because even if you pass the 1 hour mark by a minute, they have to pay for that full second hour. And then the manager will immediately take away the pretty girls that they just spent an hour connecting to, swap them with new, less attractive girls.
Yeah.
Now, if the clients want the original girls back, the manager will either say, ooh, sorry, you have to specifically pay for her, which is an additional couple $100.
Makes sense because if someone else is paying.
Okay, or they'll be told, I'm so sorry, she has a reservation with the top client right now, but she'll be back in half an hour.
Oh.
Make them sit around for 30 minutes. She comes back, they're happy, they're excited, and then they push into the third hour.
It makes them pay for the third hour.
Without even making it obvious. They always say, if a man walks to the bathroom and he even glances at his wrist where his watch is, or takes out his phone, he's thinking about leaving. If he just rushes to the bathroom, rushes out, that's fine. But if he even, like, takes a side second to look at his watch, that's it. So when he gets back at his table, what do you know? The prettiest girls are all there waiting for him. Or sometimes they're standing outside the restroom asking him, where'd you go for so long? And they'll take his hand
take a shit?
and escort him back to the table while giggling. And now that beautiful girl is begging for a bottle of champagne that she's never tasted because it's so expensive.
You work there.
And she's thirsty. Usually a bottle of champagne at high-end establishments like this easily go for $500.
Damn.
So before they know it, the wealthy businessman is spending upwards of a few $1,000s in a single night.
Yeah, no, that's a lot of
And It's all
money.
about picking the right hostesses. Typically, the most successful hostesses across the board are considered naive and innocent by men. They are perceived, keyword, perceived, by the clients to be less intelligent than them. So they're not intimidated.
Yeah.
Then eventually came the emergence of host clubs, which are basically the same concept, but now it's male host catering to female customers. And it's fascinating. There was a gender studies professor who took a deep dive into the host clubs of Japan. Because, you know, there's always that sentiment when men are attracted to work, it's like, men are men. But then when girls are attracted to, they're like, why would a girl spend money on such a dumb thing, right? I mean,
I hate that sentiment so much.
For both genders to be into it.
Yeah.
But there's some psychological and societal movements that pushed host clubs. First one,
That makes sense.
women started working a lot more. So they got a lot of disposable income, and they're staying single for a lot longer. They're not getting married. They're not settling down. Which, side note, a huge customer base for host clubs are married housewives. But let's not get into that.
Oh,
So
shit.
a lot of these single women, they'll spend money at a host club. And additionally, the host clubs do the same thing for women. So they provide
That makes sense.
princess treatment. So you know how, like, the hostesses stroke the male's ego?
Oh.
Well, when you walk in, I was thinking, Magic Mike. I'm
No.
thinking it's like Vegas. Shirtless, ripped men that's like humping the floor, sit on this chair, let me rub on
No,
you.
that's a very aggressive vibe.
You
Probably
walk
not.
in, they hand you a moist towelette. You sit down, they give you a blanket if you're wearing a skirt so you can preserve your modesty.
Oh.
And they sit and they ask about your mundane day. And maybe if it's
Because
your
once
second
again,
time coming and the
that's
last
what
time
they
you came was 2 months
want.
ago,
They
they'll be
just
like,
want companionship.
"How's Steve doing?" You're like, "How do you know my dog's name? You mentioned it 5 months ago when you stopped by."
That's crazy.
I'm sure they've got journals or something, because this is crazy. Their attention to detail, their memory, it's wild. They pour your drinks, they laugh at your jokes, they ask you questions about your life, and they seem genuinely interested in everything that you have to say. If you have to use the restroom, all the hosts in the room stand up.
Oh.
It's so chivalrous. It's like the dream first date. Your host, the one that you're sitting next to, will walk you to the restroom door, wait outside just in case, I don't know, you get accidentally flushed down the toilet bowl. It's just so nice.
Accidentally gets
Super
flushed down.
ripped and they actually dress pretty feminine. They wear makeup. They have long, brightly colored
Makeup
almost
isn't
anime
necessarily
style hair.
feminine.
When was the last time you went on a date and a guy was like doing all of that, right? So that's why host clubs, they took off.
An egg.
Something really niche but crazy useful to add to your holiday wish list.
Oh, what is it?
If you are a business owner or thinking of starting a business, I feel like people kind of gatekeep all the useful services.
I'm not going to
Or
fast
just
forward
don't
through
know,
ad.
like, how many people find it useful? But trust me,
Let
every
Stephanie
time
get
I
their
talk
bag.
to a business owner, they're like, "You have changed my life."
Get your
Sometimes I
bag.
see those vlogs that are like a day in the life of a
Get
small
your
business owner,
bag.
and I'm like, wait, are people?
It'd be
still
rough
going to
out there
post office right
sometimes.
now? Stamps
I know.
is the secret for business owners.
Get your bag.
Helping businesses like yours and ours save time and money during the
Also, I
holiday
picked up my
rush
pillow.
for
Wait, also
25
my
years.
stuffed animal still
Easy
here.
access to USPS
From yesterday.
and UPS services
Okay.
and premium rates for all of your postage needs. So
Look at your
Stamps.com is
Look
a
at
staple
them.
for any well-run business all year round, but particularly during the holiday season, it just makes your life so much easier. It's essentially your own personal post office wherever
Looks like
you
it's
are.
dancing.
Here's how it works. So with Stamps.com, all you need is a computer and printer. They will even send you a free scale, so you have everything that you need to get started. And taking care of orders on the go is even easier, so they have the Stamps.com mobile app. So if you need a package to be picked up,
Stamps?
you can easily schedule it through your Stamps.com dashboard. And if you sell products online, Stamps.com seamlessly connects with every major marketplace and shopping
Wait, no, they're
cart.
gonna get
I
dirty.
know
The
it
floor's
sounds silly
dirty.
to ask for this on your holiday wish list, but it's actually the best gift that you can ask for. It's helping your business and making your life easier. Like if you're running low on supplies, mailing supplies, labels, even printers, you can order them straight.
To
from
be
the
honest, I don't remember the
store and
last
get
time
a
I mailed
huge
something.
carrier
Oh, wait, no, I
discount
did.
with 84% off USPS and UPS rates to help your bottom line. Also, Stamps.com.
Okay, I don't remember the last time I mailed something as myself
So for
and not for
25
my
years,
persona. So.
Stamps.com has been indispensable for over 1 million businesses, including yours. So get access to the USPS and UPS services you need right from your computer. At any time, day or night, no lines, no traffic, no waiting. Give your business the gift of Stamps.com. So you know your shipping
Stamps.com.
is covered this holiday season.
Get your
Get a free
bag.
trial, free postage, and a digital scale at www.stamps.com.
Stamps.com.
Click the microphone at the top of the page and enter code ROTTEN.
Get your
And
bag.
thanks to Stamps.com for sponsoring this show. That's Stamps.com and click the microphone.
Sorry, she got
Enter
very
code ROTTEN.
intense at that back end.
Some host bar clients that were interviewed said, "I don't think host clubs would be so popular if Japanese men were more into doing stuff like this when they were dating."
A lot to learn here.
And what's interesting is there is this discourse saying like, "Oh, women are so naive. Like these girls are so desperate. They walk into host clubs thinking these men actually want to date them."
Are they saying the same thing about hostess clubs? Hostess clubs came first. Were you having that energy when those were first established? Probably not. So then shut the fuck up. Sorry, now I'm getting angry to defending people who like use these services because like being social is hard, putting in work is hard. People got things going on, so I understand the wanting and the need for some of these services. Even like some things that I do, like I have a client that liked that I'm like, you know, it's a consistent thing that I'm checking up and like saying hello. Even though there's another aspect to it, it's still like the consistency of knowing that someone is checking up, basically. But yeah, fuck that.
It's actually not like that either. Women go in the same way men go in.
Yeah.
They know it's a transaction,
There's-
and that's what they're looking for. That's why a lot of housewives.
Why would there
go
be a
in.
difference?
They're like, I'm not leaving my husband for some random 19-year-old. I'm in here to stroke my own ego and
Yeah.
feel feminine.
Yeah.
So just as how men go in for their ego, the professor said, women actually go in to feel young.
Oh.
That's the way. Like they both go in not for love
Interesting.
or romance. They're literally going in for their own egos. That's it. And the
It's all-
hosts even admit
all
that
of
they
it's
change
ego
their
boosting.
personalities based on what they think the customer in front of them wants out of this transaction. A lot of male hosts say, "We're just here to sell dreams," and those dreams, they cost a lot of money,
Mm-hmm.
even for women. The first time being at a host club works a bit differently from the type of hostess clubs that I just described. So there are also hostess clubs that operate like this, but most of it is kind of for host clubs. The way it works is, let's say you and your 3 girlfriends, you can't go in with a guy into
Oh.
host clubs. Most foreigners are not allowed in upscale host clubs either.
That makes sense,
Really?
especially because of the whole.
Oh, the only way that you can
Passport
go in with another
bro.
man is if it's couples.
Oh.
So if it's like us walking together and if we spoke Japanese, they don't let in foreigners because they think communication is the biggest thing of
Makes
housing.
sense. That
Yeah,
makes
you
a
need
little
to
more
be able
sense.
to talk. That's what you're getting out of it. So if you can't speak Japanese, then there's moot point. They do
Yeah.
have foreigner host clubs though.
Oh,
They all
okay.
speak English.
Oh,
Now, if
that-
you go in with a group of 3 women, then you will be sat host girl, host girl, host girl. Right?
Okay.
This is just your first time going in. Every 5 to 10 minutes, the host club manager will ring a bell that everyone can hear, and the host will rotate.
Oh.
But not amongst friends. So the 3 hosts in the room will get up, leave a business card, and 3 new hosts will walk
That's
in.
crazy.
And this
That's
goes
crazy.
on
Leave a
for
business
1
card?
hour. So you pay for your very first hour like this.
Is it because they want
Oh.
to find out who they connect the best?
Yes. And at the end,
Oh.
you get kind of a menu of all the hosts on there, and you go through them to get a refresher and cross-reference with the business cards in your hand. So
Okay.
let's say my friend had a host that I liked. I can't be with that host.
Oh.
Really?
They're really crazy about not creating like these tense environments.
Oh, that makes sense though.
And
Okay.
so I only get to choose the host that I've spoken to, and they will make you choose. I read a lot of blogs of people that went for the first time. They make you choose. They're like, "What's your
Oh.
favorite?" You're like, hee hee, I can't. They're all so nice. They're like, no, just pick one. Just pick a random one then.
Just pick a random one then.
They basically force you to exchange line details with them, which is
Okay.
like Kakao Talk or WeChat, WhatsApp.
Okay.
And from there, if you ever visit this host bar again, this is your designated host in perpetuity. So
Oh.
unless this host leaves the
Oh
club,
shit.
you can't really change. It's really hard.
That's crazy. That's a little.
That's going to be your host every time you walk in. And now it's up to that host to bring you back into the club. They will keep following up with you online, try to build some connection with you so it doesn't feel like a sale, or at least it shouldn't feel like one. Instead of asking you, hey, when are you going to come back to the club? What day are you want to come back to the bar? Let's make an appointment. He's probably reaching out to you, sending you a picture of the night sky or what he's eating for lunch. You're like, oh, I guess I'll respond because that's kind of nice, right? And then once that
Just
connection is built, you
companionship.
want to see him again, but you realize the only way that you can see him is at the club while you're spending your hard-earned money.
Yep.
So the first time you go, it's like $10 an hour for all you can drink for an entire hour. And
Holy
then you pick
shit.
a host. But after that,
Oh, okay. This is where the.
you've got to buy a bottle. And you have to buy drinks for your host because that's etiquette.
Yeah.
And that very easily could turn into 1 to 2 hours, and you've completely blown $500 down the drain.
Yep.
It's said that on average, depending on the scale of the establishment, you can, on the low end, blow anywhere between $150 to $300 a night, and it can go up to like $10,000 in a night at the high-end host clubs.
Damn.
And just like most host
They're making
clubs,
bank.
there's no activity allowed at host clubs.
Yeah.
But from what I can gather, and from what I've been told by our Japanese researchers, a lot of hosts will engage in work, but they'll do it off hours.
That makes
So
a
they will
lot.
come back to your place with you, or perhaps
That makes a lot of sense. That's like people. I know a lot of people who are performers. Performers within like pole or burlesque or stripping or anything like that that also do other online SA. Oh no, that's something. Shrek work. Or I know a lot of people that do. I'm not gonna say that, but it's kind of common within the sphere. Like it's not like an unheard of thing because you already have the connections, you already have the clients, And if you have the clients and then you can then safely transition those people who are coming to watch you dance, coming to watch you perform, coming to watch you do this or that and the other, to transition them to be like, okay, well, I have this whole other thing that you can continue to see more of me on, but it has a more sexual component to it. Why not use that? Like, why not? You already have the people there. They want to see more of you. Then you can just give them more of you in a way that feels comfortable for you within your set boundaries. Like, that makes sense.
It's a love motel, and they will get paid under.
Yeah, love motels. I forgot love motels in Japan.
And the bar is okay with it because that's technically illegal. So they're okay with it because you would think, oh, why don't we get a cut of it, right? But they're saying whatever you do that helps bring that customer back in more and more, that's on you, and that's illegal if you're doing work. Like,
okay.
We don't want to know. We don't want to talk about it.
Yeah.
It's kind of one of those things.
Okay.
For some people, this business is crazy lucrative. One of the highest paid hosts in Japan is actually a celebrity of sorts.
Oh.
His name is Roland. He's made a brand for himself being the most sought after host. It's said that he makes almost $500,000 per month.
Excuse me?
Per month.
Per month?
He drives a Ferrari. In 2018, he threw a birthday
party
at his host club for his birthday. He made $400,000 that night.
Holy
People
shit.
showed up to celebrate him, to buy him drinks, to just fawn over him. And he's a character. He said there are only two types of men, me and the rest. He said, I often stare into a girl's eyes and say, your face is so beautiful, but I'm really looking at my own reflection in the girl's eyes. And you would think, like, when I'm saying it, it sounds crazy. He comes off cocky and annoying. He sounds like the epitome of every guy that girls hate, right? But if you watch the interviews where he says it, it's so playful. His communication, his body language is so playful. It feels like he's not taking it seriously.
That's great.
It almost makes you feel more comfortable.
I love that.
It breaks down this wall of like, oh my god, this is the most successful host and he makes how much a month? It breaks it down, and he's basically poking fun at himself.
Yeah, I was about to say.
It's so fascinating.
It seems like he gets the joke.
With a YouTuber, and every surface of his bedroom is a mirror.
What?
He said so that when he has girls over, he can see every angle.
Oh my god! It's what's his face? Oh my god, no, it's not the anime man. Yeah, I listen to Trash Taste a little bit sometimes. That's crazy. I love that. He has. Well, that makes sense. He does interviews with people all the time. Okay, but yeah, no, like that makes a lot of sense. I don't think I've seen this one. I need to see this one then. I also got really into Connor VA, right? Is that his last name? Sea Dog. Connor. That guy who's also on Trash Taste. I got to his videos, like going into like unique like clubs and bars and things in Japan and stuff like that. And I like Iron Mouse too. I like a lot of streamers. I watch a lot of streamers. But yeah, no, that's crazy. So you can see things from all different angles.
He was also asked in an interview how many women he slept with, and he very smoothly, without even skipping a beat, says, "Do you drink coffee?" The interviewer is like, "Yes." "Do you remember how many cups of coffee you've had?"
Wow.
Yeah.
I love this guy.
But Roland is the exception, and he's at the height of the industry.
Yeah.
The others, they make a lot less, way less.
That's how it normally goes.
Now starting to make enough money that they're not living paycheck to paycheck, and these days the competition is getting even more intense, and it's one of those industries that fluctuates with the economy. There are over 11,000 host and hostess clubs in the red light district.
Sorry, real quick. I know I'm pausing a shit ton. Oh my god, we're only 30 minutes in. Sorry, I know I'm pausing a shit ton. But that's like, like the saying of like, if you know the economy or you're going into a recession, if you know like strippers are like hurting, like literally, like it's pretty accurate. Same with like online sex work. If you are losing a lot of clients, like something is happening. Either if you are not doing anything different, like nothing has changed within your algorithm, you're not being shadow banned anywhere, like your content's still reaching the same amount of people and like it's growing, but you're losing clients, like most likely it's an economic thing. Nothing really that you can really do about it. But yeah.
Of Tokyo alone, and Phoenix Luna had just started working
Oh,
at one of
Phoenix
these clubs.
Luna.
To a lot of other guys at the club, it was a chance to be the next Roland. For Phoenix Luna, it was just free housing, honestly. Okay?
Oh, they look
Phoenix
so sweet.
had such a rough upbringing.
Oh
I mean,
no.
from what we know, his parents, they separated really early on. So Phoenix and his 6 siblings were sent off to live in this foster care orphanage institution.
Oh,
And it was just not a good place. All the kids
Most
there were
aren't,
already
unfortunately.
traumatized, and they just weren't receiving adequate parental love or compassion.
Oh.
You know, they were
That's,
treated like adults too early.
to be honest,
Most of
common.
the kids, they actually left the institution around middle school age because of how bad it was.
Middle
And
school
Phoenix,
age?
he leaves. No degree in a place like Japan, hard. Not even a high school diploma, impossible. So this middle schooler is getting jobs in construction.
Ooh.
And it seems very likely that even if he wanted to work hard, he just kept getting scammed by all these adult bosses that wanted him to perform cheap labor for like next to nothing.
That's shitty.
Eventually, he was left penniless and without a home. He would just bounce around from hostels and PC bangs. I don't know what they call it in Japanese, but it's like 24-hour internet cafes. He's trying to take naps there, and it's rough.
Yeah.
So he thinks, you know, why don't I try something crazy? Let's see if a host bar will take me. Host bars are known to provide dorms for a lot of the hosts that work at the clubs.
Oh,
and that
wait,
was enough for
that's
him.
a sweet
Even if he doesn't
gig.
get paid right away, at least he's got a place to sleep.
Yeah.
A lot of the host bars loved him. He just has the look for being a host, and he's very good with people.
Yeah, no, he's like
Even though you would
sweet
think that
looking.
his childhood made him very kind of pulled away from society and closed off. He actually was very good. He wasn't overly out there, overly talkative, just very genuine. So he starts at Club Fusion, and this is not a rags to riches story. He does okay. He quickly ranks up to be the 4th host in the bar, and each club, they have a ranking system.
Okay,
And a lot
but
of the times, they will
wait.
post pictures of their top 5 hosts or hostesses on the wall behind the reception desk.
That's crazy.
Numbered and everything.
That's
Number
crazy.
1 host, picture. Number 2 host, picture. And it's kind of a shitty system.
What is this? Dance moms? What the fuck? Why is there a pyramid and like they're getting numbered and shit like that? That's crazy. But being ranked number 4, like depending on how many hosts are in that one club, it seems like there's a lot of people. It's not lucrative. Well, it could be lucrative, but it's like a saturated industry. So meaning that there's a lot of people wanting to be hosts, especially if they're housing you. Like that's crazy. That's like a sweet gig. But they being ranked number 4, I feel like that's pretty good, especially if it's like, say, like out of 15, like that's still a pretty good ranking overall. Like that's pretty good. And saying like top 5 could have the possibility of being like advertised like right up front, like that. No, that's pretty good.
System because it keeps number one.
Oh,
People walk
okay.
in, they don't know anything about this place. All they see is, hey, that guy must be popular for a reason.
Oh,
That guy there must be something special about him. And they'll request him and they'll be told, hey, you know, he actually charges a lot more because he's higher in demand.
Yeah.
Like, well, okay, I guess I'll pay it. And it's a never ending cycle. of
Yeah,
people
it adds
getting
up.
posts
It
after
adds up.
So Phoenix is ranked number 4, but he's not killing it. He's not making a ton of money. He's doing okay. Now, here's something fascinating about host and hostess clubs.
Okay.
A lot of the customers are other host and hostesses.
That makes a lot of sense, actually.
So, for example, some hostesses will get off their shift of entertaining men all day.
Yep.
And I'm sure it's so draining.
Yep.
They just want someone to entertain them. So they find themselves
Companionship.
at host clubs.
And
Paying for the
also,
very same thing that
what is
they
it?
sell.
Familiarity,
Companionship.
solidarity.
Ego boost.
Yeah.
And vice versa for hosts that go to hostess bars.
Yeah, no, it makes
And
a
now
lot of
one
sense.
these clients was Yuka Takaoka.
Oh.
And she comes in to Club Fusion. She's a 21-year-old hostess
Oh.
with straight brown-black hair and big eyes. A lot of people said that she looks like a cat, and that got her a lot of loyal clients as a host.
What is this?
But now,
TikTok.
she's at a host bar specifically looking for Phoenix Luna. That's his host name, by the way. His legal name is protected by Japanese courts.
That makes sense.
She said that Phoenix had come into her hostess bar like a year ago. Long time ago with a bunch of like hosts. Okay, maybe like a few months ago. And he just kind of really stuck out to her. Months passed and she kept remembering, oh my god, like I keep thinking about that really cute guy that had come in. She finds him on Twitter, starts DMing him. And he's like, well, you can always visit me at my club.
Oh,
So she does.
that's
Starting
cute.
from March 2019. March 2019.
March 2019.
Yuka starts going to see Phoenix at a club 2 to 3 times a week.
Oh,
And
shit.
she's like, you're ranked number 4. We should change that.
Oh.
I can help you to get to number 1.
Oh.
I'll order 2 more bottles tonight.
Oh, shit.
And she's reassuring him, like, no, it's fine. Like, I have the money. Don't worry. She would go as far to spend $6,000 in one night to help him raise ranks.
Just to help him
Every
raise
single club has a
ranks.
high earner song. A lot of host clubs adopted this thing where every single night,
Okay.
the host who makes the most money that night will start singing on stage when
Ooh.
it's time to start.
I would
closing.
not be able to do that. I would
And
not be able to
this
sing.
song is not like everybody's cleaning and the
Closing
they're
time.
just singing and nobody is listening. It's more like a concert, like an idol concert, and they're being fawned over, and the host club makes it seem like this grand gesture for the host to have this honor of singing for the patrons. They kind of make it like that.
Okay.
So these clients, they feel pride if they helped their host
That-
get to that spot by the end of the night.
Yeah, no, that makes sense.
And Yuka was one of them. She would spend $10,000 in one night just to get him up there to sing.
How much money does this person
Don't sit and
have?
argue, because that's the whole point of his job.
Yeah.
is to make money. And Yuka said that she was a manager at a hostess bar.
Okay.
and
Oh,
he
that's
could
a cute
kind of let
picture
his
of
guard
her.
down a little bit with her out of anyone. Like, if anyone knows that this is a transactional business,
Yeah.
and that there's no real romance or love or attraction, it would be Yuka.
Yeah.
She's in the same industry, doing the same thing to men, so she should know, right?
Mhm.
She's half Chinese, half Japanese.
Okay.
Yeah, she was born in China actually in 1998,
Oh.
but they moved to Japan when she was 2 years old, and like she threw chairs at people. That was
What
a
do
thing
you
in her
mean?
childhood.
She
Yeah, in high
threw
school.
chairs.
Let me give you some backstory. Yuka had a very creative personality.
Okay.
She has this very cute, naive girl next door.
What are
appeal
these
to her, and
TikToks?
It's very easy for her to get male attention. That's what everybody said. She had boyfriend after boyfriend.
Oh,
in high
she's trying to
school. This is
shake
no
out
shade, by the
the-
way. What is
Oh, she's trying to shake out
is,
rubber bands from her hair.
she
Okay,
exhibited
cool.
some alarming behavior even as a kid. One time, someone insulted her boyfriend, and Yuka got mad and hurled a chair at them, just like rage throwing chairs at a high school kid.
To be honest, I would have probably been like, well, who are you talking about? I was a little bit protective when I was in high school. I probably would have hurled a chair at someone.
For probably saying your boyfriend's not that cute. It's a little weird. So after high school, Yuka drops out of college and she's like, I'm just going to focus on making money. She starts hostessing at a bar, and she was a spectacular hostess. She knew how to stroke men's egos. She knew how to make them feel good. And she really does have the perfect innocent girl look that people really prefer in the hostess scene.
Okay.
She ends up so good at her job, she becomes the manager of the place. And remember what I said about managers?
Oh.
They're cutthroat. They know how to move people around. They know people. They're quick on picking up social cues and signals.
Mm-hmm.
None of her coworkers had anything bad to say about her.
Oh.
They said, there's actually a lot of competition at hostess bars. Like, you would think everyone's hee hee ha ha and friendly, but
No.
it's cutthroat.
It's pretty. It can
But
get.
even
It can
if
get
Yuka
bad.
wasn't the manager, you could actually go to her for advice. And you didn't feel
Oh.
like she's giving you bad advice to try and backstab you or has a different motive. She was just very nice.
Oh, that's nice though.
She just seemed safe to be around. I guess unless she wanted to date you.
Apparently.
Phoenix a few times at the host bar. Yuka finds herself thinking
Excuse me.
about this man every waking second of every day of her life. Her existence revolves around this man. Everything she sees, she's like, oh my god, that reminds me of Phoenix. Oh my god, every thought that she has becomes about Phoenix.
Oh
It starts consuming
no.
her.
Oh
He was the last thing
no.
that she thought about before going to bed, and he was her everything. She would lay there thinking about him, waiting for a new message online to pop up, and then she would check her bank account, and all the money she saved up in her career was gone.
I
She
knew
blew
it.
all
I was
out.
like, how is she paying so much
And she's
in
not
a
a
single
nepo
night?
baby. She's not a millionaire. She did not have the funds to be spending like this.
Yeah.
But she felt like there's just no other way to see him, unless I go to his bar, unless I spend money on him.
Then
So
you're
she
not
was
in.
like, well, it's fine though. This is an investment. He likes me and I like him, and we can't be together right now because
You
of his
already
job
know
at the
that you
host
see.
club, but
No.
eventually we'll be together.
No.
To ensure that, she would even pay close to $9,000 a month to exclusively reserve him as her host. So remember how I said you can spend hundreds of dollars an hour, like your second or third time at a host club?
Yeah.
You don't get your host for a full hour.
You're
They're
spending
gonna
that much,
have
you're not
tips
even
because
getting them for
they've
the
got
full
other clients
hour?
coming in.
That,
So
okay,
you
that
probably
makes
maybe
sense.
get them for like max 20 minutes.
Oh,
So
God, that's
$9,000 a month,
crazy.
and anytime Yuka comes in, she still has to spend money, but he cannot go to any other client. Even if another client comes in, he cannot go. But if she's not there, he's free to see all his clients that he wants. He just has to drop everyone.
So
to
wait,
go
what
with
if
her
someone?
she's there?
What if two people who are like the highest like? Sorry, my shorts are riding up again. What if two people come in that who are like highest paying for those people come in at the same exact time? Do they then have to split the time again, or do they just like put them at a table together and be like, okay, like this is a table of all the people that exclusively have like, paid for me? I don't know. Also, what the fuck was that noise? I don't know what's happening. Yeah.
And that $9,000 is not unlimited. That's just the base pay. She still has to pay what every client does when they come in and buy drinks. So in just 2 months, Phoenix goes from being ranked number 4 to rank number 1 at the club. All thanks to Yuka.
2 months just from
She didn't have
Yuka.
the funds to keep
Damn.
paying for all of this,
Yeah,
so
no.
she had to join a delivery health company to make some extra money.
Oh,
Delivery
okay.
health is exactly what you think. They deliver 24-hour dispatch-style services straight to your door.
Yeah.
If you're feeling a little bit sick or a little bit under the weather,
Mm-hmm.
they will dispatch a sexy nurse to show up at your door and have sex with you. Yeah, they call it delivery health. I found it very fascinating. They also have hotel health, which are hotels that also have sex workers on call. So you like book in, and instead of getting room service, you get other services. It's fascinating. Yeah.
But I thought they said it's illegal. Is this also this organization that they're talking about also illegal? But it seems like it's pretty well known. So I wonder if you get caught. Like, I'm confused. But also that literally threw me for a loop for a second because I think I heard it, and then like my brain kind of like stopped working for a second because I was trying to understand. So it's not actual like medical services. Like you don't have to be like actually trained in anything. They'll literally drop off meds for you and then do sexual things. I'm so confused.
Yeah. And the nurse, side note, they're not actually dressed like nurses because you have to pay extra for costume play. But they usually have a chaperone that's waiting outside your house to make sure that they make it out okay with no issues.
That makes sense.
There's even delivery health pickup. A lot of guys actually like this. So instead of having the girl come straight to their apartment door, they'll actually meet up at like in front of a convenience store.
Okay.
And they said there's a thrill of walking her back to your home, and these light conversations, that's where there's a lot of tension building.
Yeah, no, that makes sense.
Yes, and you can even add on purchases before you meet her in front of the convenience store. And one of the more popular add-on purchases is that she comes with a hidden, she hands you a remote, and there is obviously something that has been placed within her body that you can control in public as you're walking back to your apartment.
Damn.
And this is just one level of the kind of like adult services that they provide in Japan. They also have soap houses. I went down a rabbit hole. Soap houses are fascinating. So they're bathhouses turned into sex work. You go in and you book a bath.
Okay.
So each room has a private bath, and it's all about like a very sensual bath experience. And then afterwards, there's payment for other activities. Yeah, the pricing on all of this is really intense. Like if you get delivery health and you didn't shower prior to the meeting, they will charge you for not showering prior to the meeting.
That's great, actually. No, that makes sense.
Regardless, Yuka hated it. She hates working at delivery health, and it's starting to take a toll on her mentally. But she feels like it's gonna pay off eventually. Phoenix Luna is going to make enough money, he's going to quit his job, and then we're going to move in together.
But you guys didn't discuss any of that.
Phoenix said she's doing delivery health on the side.
Yeah.
She just said that she's got the bar that she manages, and she has this crazy rich sugar daddy that takes her on dinner dates and pays her a big sum of money. She felt like she's hiding the truth for this heroic cause, their love story.
Wow.
She said she basically got confirmation of the plan of moving in together when she told him that she loved him, to which he responded, at the club, mind you. At
Oh
the club. He said, "Love you too.
no.
Let's get married one day in the future."
Oh
She
no.
claimed
In the
that he told her
club
that he wanted to
though.
move in with her a year after he quit his job. Which, first of all, we're not even sure if this is what he said, but second of all, it's kind of like going to a strip club and the
Yeah,
dancer tells you
no.
that they're only here to pay for school. It could be true.
Yeah,
It could be a
but
lie.
you don't.
But as a customer, you're
Yeah.
not really entitled to know the truth.
That part, you're not
And it's
entitled to
not
know the
uncommon
truth.
for popular hosts to kind of live with their top clients.
Oh.
So top clients will have their apartment if they're single, or if they're married, they'll have a secondary apartment if they're really loaded. And then that host will come stay like every Wednesdays and Thursdays.
Oh.
It's still very transactional, but it is kind of like, oh, partly we move in together part-time. It's
Okay.
definitely not in the traditional sense.
Yeah.
And if anyone should have known that, it would have been Yuka, but she's in too deep. April of 2019, they had intimate relations at a love motel, and this only drove Yuka further into this delusion that they were Romeo and Juliet.
Yeah.
That's how she saw this situation. They desperately want to be together, but because of life circumstances, they can't. But her hardship, her engaging in sex work, it's all part of a big story that she's doing this for love.
Oh no.
At this rate, Yuka was dangerously headed into yandere territory. So yandere is a type of character.
Isn't
Typically,
that
it
wasn't
shows in
there
movies.
wasn't there like a game that was all about yandere? Did I make that up? Right? Isn't yandere like people that would like literally would kill for the people that they love, like literally kill like people, like they're like literally killing people? Maybe I made that up. Well, okay, this is about stabbing and people saying that they want to get stabbed, so maybe I'm right.
But I mean, she can technically exist in real life too. It's usually a girl that is obsessed with one guy. And it's usually girl to guy. She's obsessive, jealous, full on toxic, unhealthy, illegal levels of attachment. Foaming at the mouth for him, addicted to him, his scent, his everything. She is ready to be violent. She's ready to commit crimes and potentially even murder people just to be with this guy.
I was
If I'm
correct.
a yandere for you and I see another girl look at you, I could punch her in the face. Like, just toxic levels. It's not even like she's flirting with you. She just looks in your general direction. I'll kill her. Like, that's the vibe. It's a combination of two Japanese words, one which means sick and the other one means love struck. Someone who is so love struck that they're sick in the head.
Yeah, okay, that makes
I fell down
sense.
a rabbit hole again on this one, and I'm going to be honest with you. There is a yandere subreddit with 73,000 members. There's
I want to
even a
go on
video
that.
game that you can get called Yandere Simulator. And I don't
That's what it was. I saw someone play that game. Who did I see play that game? I forgot who, but I literally saw someone play that game. And I think the objective was like, you had to like stab someone in the bathroom? And I remember they just kept failing and they couldn't understand why they kept failing. But like I remember someone playing that game. That's why I recognize that word. Also on top of that, like that just mindset of being so toxically jealous of someone, like my pansexual ass could never. Not saying that's bad, but like I like even currently right now within even my own marriage, I constantly say if there's ever a time that my partner feels romantic or sexual attraction to someone else and like wants an open marriage, like that's something that I am okay with. I'm not a jealous person. I don't think I've ever really been a jealous. I think I maybe like when I was like a kid. I feel like most kids like have jealous tendencies, but like as I've gotten older, like I don't really have those. And I think that's why it's so easy for me to be in the line of works that I do. But yeah, no, like that's crazy that like I was spot on.
I don't know if it's still available because it's really commercial. But you play a girl.
Maybe I
who's
have watched
high
this.
school that's infatuated with a boy in your class. He doesn't even really know you like that. Like he really doesn't know you.
Maybe I
He's
have
just
seen
dating.
someone else react to this
So it's
one,
like
and I'm
full-on
just not
stalker.
fully
Yeah,
remembering now.
He's just a stalker.
Once again, I've had too many
He's a hot
concussions.
stalker. The yandere are always like conventionally very attractive.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. So in the game, you're basically stalking this guy, and any girl that talks to him, looks at him, the mission is to cut her up with a knife.
See, I was
And then
correct.
For some reason, you have to drag and hide their bodies, and then take pictures of their skirt. It's
Oh,
pretty unsavory game.
I don't remember that.
It's popular. Now back to the subreddit. A lot of the posts they have up are depicting women being so infatuated with a man, they're basically forcing themselves on them sexually. like tying them up and forcing them to get her pregnant.
Oh, shit.
And usually the women in question are really, really conventionally attractive, like with
That
double Ds.
makes a lot of sense.
And the people who really like this subgenre typically are men.
Yeah.
I guess they like the idea that they make a woman go so crazy that she loses her mind and is foaming at the mouth and lives, sleeps, breathes him. One Reddit comment reads, I don't know why other people like yandere, but personally, I just like cute girls who might be a little batshit crazy.
Jesus.
Another comment reads, I guess people like the fact that a person like that, like a yandere, isn't likely to leave or betray you in a relationship sense.
I guess, but
They're
still,
not
like,
likely
that's
to cheat on you. They're
extremes.
not likely to break up with you.
Extremes.
It's like a fantasy, right? Is it like kind of like those funny TikTok girls like when you're getting kidnapped, but your kidnapper looks like this hot dude that's like,
Wow.
I think so. Yeah. And like, I think, when you just look at it from a media standpoint, I don't judge people's interest as long as it's between two consenting adults. I don't think yandere or the trope of yandere in anime, because it's a common trope, I don't think it's inherently dangerous. It just adds a lot of elements, story elements to a plot, to a show.
Yeah.
But this is
Real life.
this is far from like the craziest interest I've ever come across.
yeah.
But in today's case, it's going to go very, very sideways.
Oh, no.
There are
Does
two
the guy
sides to this story,
die?
because Phoenix is a host at a host bar.
Well,
He
he's
does have a
bleeding to
level of
death,
pressure
so
and
probably.
responsibility to take care of his clients outside of the bar. Not saying he has to sleep with them unless he wants to and chooses to, but he has to make sure that they're happy. So he would go on these tour
Makes
hunts
sense.
with Yuka, where he would go to cat cafes with her, go watch movies with her.
Okay.
And Yuka, even though she was paying for all the dates, and there is a transactional element to all these dates,
Yes.
she didn't see it like that.
Oh, no.
She was
Oh,
like,
no.
this
Oh,
is
no.
love.
Oh,
This is a
no.
real date. This is my boyfriend. Do you see where the problem here is?
Yeah.
But it would only continue to escalate when Yuka leased a 5th floor apartment close to Phoenix's work, and she felt like, no, we both want this.
Oh, no.
All I have to do is wait for him to quit his job and move in with me, and then he will be all mine. And they will be together forever.
Oof.
But the more Yuka is doing for Phoenix, the more he's pulling away.
Yeah.
By the end of May, so this is just 2 months. By the end of May, they're fighting nonstop. Yuka is always demanding just
2
things
months?
that don't make sense. I do want to preface this by saying they're not dating. They
Yeah.
never are officially boyfriend and girlfriend. Both of them will admit that. It's actually pounded into host heads from the day that they start working that they should never get a girlfriend. You're being paid to be a boyfriend to a lot of women, and if they find out you have a
Yeah.
girlfriend, the fantasy is dead. Like, why do they pay money for that?
Yeah.
Both parties knew that. They were not exclusive. They were not even dating. But Yuka would do these things where she would call Phoenix while he was at work. And she's like, can you please come over? He explains, I'm sorry, Yuka, I can't right now because I'm at work.
Yeah.
But maybe I can come after my shift. That's very reasonable, right?
Yeah.
Yuka would keep calling and would even respond that if he didn't come immediately, she would jump off the roof of her apartment.
No.
Phoenix didn't know what to do because on one hand, he's a compassionate person that would never want someone to do something like that. But on the other hand, he feels really burdened by her because
Yeah.
like, what responsibility does he have for her mental health? They're not even dating.
Yeah.
He was so stressed out by Yuka, he kind of starts distancing himself from her. On a Reddit post, asking people why they're into yandere characters, a response reads, I guess it's the idea that someone is so loyal, so devoted, and completely attached to you that they'll be willing to do literally anything to make sure you and they are not separated. Yes, a yandere girl is crazy, but it's not because she's evil. She does things with the intention of helping you, even if that's not necessarily the right thing to do.
Oh.
I should note that a yandere girl won't randomly stab you unless there's a compelling reason to do so. May 21st, 2019. Deranged Yuka found her compelling reason to do so.
No.
Yuka woke
That gave
up
me
to her
chills.
friend blowing up her phone. Phoenix was at work and Yuka's alone, and her friend
Okay.
is telling her, you'll never guess who I saw at a love motel. Phoenix with another client.
Why would you say that?
Yuka paced around the apartment all day until Phoenix came to see her because he was like, yeah, I'll come see you after work. And she's screaming, why the hell were you at a love motel with another woman? And I'm sure Phoenix is taken aback because
Yeah.
again, they're not dating. This is his line of work, right? But he reassures her that they did go to a love motel, but they didn't do anything physical.
Okay.
Yuka's really hurt, and she tells him, okay, fine, I get it. It's your job. But from now on, you have to tell me if you ever see another woman outside of the club. The next day, Yuka's on the phone with her friend, and she noticed that Yuka didn't sound good.
Yeah.
So she's like, hey, Yuka, is everything okay? Yuka starts explaining how she worked all day at the delivery health job, and just, I don't know, the relationship's not going well. Her friend listened, and I presume she also is in the industry because she tells Yuka, look, if you want to be with Phoenix and he's a host, you've got to put up with this stuff.
Yeah.
That's the job. That's what comes with dating a host. Yuka gets off the phone and calls Phoenix. And he's like, hey, I just want to let you know, after work today, I'm going to go get drinks with a female client. Like, I have to.
Yeah, because it's part of your job.
He's fulfilling his promise to her that he would tell her if he went anywhere with another woman. Even though, again, he doesn't have to. Yuka was so mad. She took to journaling. She wrote down her feelings. She wrote about how the only way to ease the pain of this relationship was to kill Phoenix.
How?
She said that she would
How?
kill him and then die, like Romeo.
Connect the
and
dots
Juliet,
for me.
so that they could be together forever. She wrote, I apologize to everyone involved with me. I've always had a bad habit of telling lies, and I wanted to be the heroine of a tragedy. Something beautiful, something fleeting, and I don't know what happened and what didn't. Sorry for being a bad daughter. I'm sorry for being a stupid daughter. I have a tendency to tell lies, and I don't know what's a lie or the truth. And when I found someone I love, I didn't want him to look at anyone else, so I thought
no.
it'd be best to kill him.
Oh
The me that has
no.
nothing
He's
to
gonna
say. I
die.
didn't like calling him Luna-kun. So this was his stage name before the stabbing. Later,
So he survived. If you think before the stabbing, and they've been calling him Phoenix Luna this whole time, is that his current state? Did he survive?
it's Phoenix. It just made me feel like money.
Yeah,
But
no,
to
because
me,
it is
he's
money.
Real name redacted. The one that I love.
Damn.
I love you from the bottom of my heart, and even when you only see me as money and you only feed me lies because you're a host, if you die, all of our words become true.
No.
So I'm
That's
gonna
not how
take
that
care of you
works.
now. Don't worry, because I'll do anything to be with you. According to our Japanese translator, Yuka uses the word aishiteru instead of
Ashi-
daisuki, which is
Ashiteru?
much stronger of a phase of saying I love you. Most couples, especially young couples who haven't been dating long, like example 2 months,
Yeah.
will only use the more like love ya, I imagine is kind of like that, right?
Mhm.
Versus I love you.
Oh.
But she uses the very strong emotional word for love.
Oh.
It's very interesting.
That is
Now,
interesting.
another message reads, I want to be a tragic heroine. How is it possible for him to look at other women than me? I know killing him is for the best. If I kill him, it'll be eternal, and there will be no pain afterwards. I don't need anything other than him.
That's great.
Yuka had
That's
officially
intense.
After drinking with a female client, Phoenix came to visit Yuka.
Don't
and
go.
said that she asked him to come over and help clean her apartment.
Don't
and I
go.
believe that he was going to be compensated for his time.
Don't go.
So he helps her hang curtains. They talk. They have... And after all of that, Phoenix is like, hey, can I please just take a bath? It's been such a long day.
Yeah.
He draws a bath, gets in, ends up falling asleep in the tub. And he's thinking, oh my God, this is so dangerous. I can't fall asleep in a tub. So he gets up, dries himself off, puts on a pair of boxers, and runs into Yuka's bed and starts napping. While he was asleep, though, Yuka had gone through his phone and found pictures of Phoenix and another woman at the bar. Now, these pictures are said to not have been in any context in any way. So they're not kissing, they're not groping each other.
He a
But
little
Yuka felt like,
delulu
why?
right now.
Why are you taking pictures together? Why would you need to keep these pictures? Why would you have them on your phone? At 3:50 a.m., Yuka walks over to her kitchen and picks out the sharpest knife.
Oh
She had bought it at
no.
the store recently. She walks into the bedroom, finds Phoenix asleep, and he just looked so peaceful.
Yeah, because he's sleeping.
So she sat on top of him, took a good look at how he looked,
Uh-huh.
and then plunged the knife into his stomach.
Uh-huh.
The knife had gone so deep into his stomach, the handle of the knife was basically inside of his body.
Ugh.
Not the blade, the handle. She used that much force. Phoenix said that he opened his eyes, he didn't feel any pain.
Yeah,
just
because
had
adrenaline,
shock.
right?
This doesn't make sense. Why is there a knife in my stomach? There was so much blood, gushing out of his stomach.
Jesus.
His survival instinct kicked in immediately. He tries to push Yuka off of him forcibly, but she's sitting in a way that makes
Now
it really
I'm
hard
not
for
sure
him
if
to move.
he made it.
And additionally, the knife in his stomach doesn't help that either.
Yeah,
So then he tries to strangle her. Again, just to get her off
makes
of him.
sense.
And
He
eventually
got
Yuka
stabbed.
asked him, do you like me? Which is just so unsettling, okay?
I have a knife in my
Okay,
stomach.
This is my way out. This is what she wants to hear, obviously.
I
Right?
have a knife in my
And he
stomach.
says as sincerely as possible, I love you.
Yeah,
Of course, I love you.
survival.
Let's
Survival.
be together forever.
Tell them what they need to hear.
He's really hoping this
get out
is
of the
gonna get
situation.
her off of him.
Yeah.
But she stares back at him and gives him the most chilling response. I love you too. So let's die together. This is after 2 months of not even dating. Phoenix
Oh, that
starts
actually gave me
shaking
chills,
because
like real
now the
bad
pain is
chills.
kicking in. His eyes are wide, his whole body is trembling. And whether it was a struggle or Yuka chose to get off of him, it's unclear, or a little bit of both. Yuka forcibly pulls the knife out from his stomach, which is not a good idea.
Don't
when
do
you
that.
have injuries like that,
Don't do
it's
that.
just not a
Keep
good
it
idea to
in
pull it out
there.
because then he could bleed out to death.
Yeah,
She
you're
throws
supposed to keep the
knife
pressure in
under
there.
the bed, and this caused Phoenix to bleed even more. And he's begging her to call an ambulance, but she's not moving. So he runs for the door.
Because he
could
wants
hear her
him to
screaming
die.
behind him, don't go, don't go. But he kept going. He's smearing and dragging blood all throughout the apartment unit, into the hallway, into
Makes
the
sense.
elevator. Yuka's chasing after him. The only reason that he made it into the elevator and was able to get the doors closed was because Yuka wanted to grab her phone, her glasses, because she didn't have her contacts in,
Okay.
and cigarettes before chasing him. Her cigarettes, which is an interesting detail we're going to go into later. The man she's obsessed with, to the point of killing, is running downstairs bleeding to death. But she's like, gotta grab my cigarettes.
Yeah.
The entire elevator looks straight out of a horror scene. The control panel with all the buttons for all the floors covered in blood. The walls streaked in blood. Once Phoenix made it to the lobby, he collapsed on the floor, blood all over him, only in his underwear. I mean, most of his body was red now from all the blood he was covered
Oh
in.
my
He
god.
covered his face with his hand. He saw Yuka calmly approach, sit down next to him, and light a cigarette. Yuka grabbed her phone, called a friend, and didn't even tell her what happened.
She didn't call police? Nothing? Just...
No. Literally waiting for him to die.
Wow.
Because you
I'm
want
not
him
gonna
dead.
show you the picture. The picture is very telling. I would say the picture is gruesome, but that's
Oh, yeah,
not the
someone took a
point. So
picture.
you do see him laying behind her, and she's sitting in a black t-shirt that's almost like a dress. She's got her legs propped up, so her knees are bent and her feet are flat on the floor.
Okay.
She's got cigarette in between her index and middle finger, just like casually relaxed to the side.
Oh.
It's not even to her mouth. It's not even, her fingers are so relaxed. It's very like, and then she's got her phone to her ear, and she's just, it looks like she's sitting on a park bench having a conversation with a friend.
Oh.
Right at that moment, a woman, presumably another resident in the building, screams bloody murder at the sight of the two covered in blood, calls the police,
Yeah.
and later would take the now famous picture. It's crazy. Yuka looks like a high schooler in the picture.
Yeah.
She looks so young, yeah. But what's even crazier
He,
is
like,
that this
responded
picture
to me.
would
That was
later gain her
creepy.
admiration and fans. Some people, they created this picture in different artistic formats. Literally fan art of a stabbing scene. Some people
Yeah.
out there are actually interested in Yuka because they call her the real life yandere.
Yeah.
And they say, guys, she's too beautiful to be a criminal. They even wrote things like, she can stab me any day if she wants. She's so pretty, I want her to stab me like that. Some people were even setting her as their wallpaper on their phones. And they said, I mean, she's my dream girl. Like, I want someone to love me like that.
Ooh,
Thankfully, this is a small portion
yeah.
of the netizens reacting like this, but still, it's so
Jarring.
dumb. I don't know what else to say.
It's
So
jarring.
when the police arrive at the scene, they approach Yuka like she's got a bomb strapped to her chest, which she doesn't, but they don't know. I mean, I
Yeah.
don't blame
She
them. This is
stabbed
a
someone.
huge scene. I would imagine that Yuka is not above doing anything crazy. Who knows what else this girl has got planned? So they're trying to be gentle with her, and all of this is evidenced in the now viral photo, because in the photo there's actually a cop squatting down next to Yuka trying to talk to her. I guess in an attempt to get her
Oh.
handcuffed. It's not like he's pouncing on her, slamming her to the ground and arresting her.
Uh-huh.
But she goes without a fight.
Oh. Yeah.
She was even seen creepily smiling at people in the cop car. She
Oh,
said, I
shit.
had to do this because I loved Phoenix so much and I wanted to be with him so badly that I had no other choice. I thought him saying things like, I like you and I want to be with you, all those things would become a reality if we both died. Which
Oh, yeah.
some netizens were like,
She's just, like,
I
relaxed.
don't
She's
know, 'cause
chilling.
We saw the viral picture, and it doesn't look like you cared if he lived or died, honestly. You're smoking a cigarette without a care in the world.
Yeah.
Yuka was asked about those cigarettes and why she just looked
Why do I
so
now want to see
relaxed.
this
And
picture?
she said, oh, well, I mean, I'm addicted. I'm super addicted. I smoke like 4 boxes a day. That's the equivalent to 80 cigarettes a day, guys. But as for how she was able to just callously smoke while he lay dying behind her, she said she has no answer on why she felt compelled to smoke. She said that she just wanted to smoke because she was waiting for him to die so that she could die and they could be together forever. I do want to preface this by saying I didn't see any reports that she brought down any weapons into the
Yeah,
lobby.
how
So
were
from
you
what we
killing
gather,
yourself?
She left the knife in the bedroom. So if that's the case, how was she planning on exiting?
Maybe the only thing that I could think of, because she's casually like, oh, he left the apartment, so someone's going to find his body, meaning that police or someone is going to need to come. And if he's there with them, if he like acts like not sporadically, but acts like that she's going to harm someone else, like they may shoot her, maybe. But that's also my American brain thinking of that, because like American cops tend to be trigger happy. But I guess that could be it. But like, yeah, no, that's like weird. That's weird.
I would imagine she was physically next to him when she did it. So even that's a question of like, are we sure that this was her plan?
Yeah.
Meanwhile, Phoenix was given 20%. 20% chance to live.
Oh no.
Doctors said the knife had punctured his liver.
But
he
like,
was immediately operated on. They tried their best, but they really didn't have high hopes.
oh no.
He was in a coma
But
for
he
5
got a
days.
new name. But that was after death.
And then he woke up.
Wait, no.
He survived.
Hey!
And actually, his stage name, Phoenix Luna, was created after the stabbing because he was a survivor. He wanted his name to be symbolic of everything that he went through and how he still rose above the ashes like a phoenix.
Hey.
And that makes it sound easy, but it wasn't. He was hospitalized for over a month, and he said, at first I couldn't speak because I had no voice. I was bedridden. I had to relearn how to walk once they allowed me out of bed. I couldn't eat after the incident, so I lost a lot of weight.
Yeah.
And then came the nightmares. He would wake up drenched in sweat, and he had this reoccurring nightmare that Yuka was contorting her body to crawl through the small hospital window to find him.
Oh no.
And he requested nonstop to be in a windowless hospital room, even if that meant never seeing the sun.
Yeah.
Phoenix
It's
stated
rough.
the only thing that got him through this time was his coworkers would come to see him to cheer
Oh,
him on.
that's nice.
And because they thought that he was going to die, the police worked really hard tracking down any of his relatives. This was the first time in 5+ years that he was reconnected with his siblings.
Oh, wait, that's so nice.
Because after he left the orphanage, they were all out of contact.
Yeah, it tends
And
to happen.
It was just nice to see them again. He said it was a very bittersweet moment.
Yeah.
This is what Phoenix is going through, and the court is like, okay, Yuka, you can get out on bail. They even let her train to be a nurse caretaker. She went to training 3 times a week while she's out on bail. I'm sorry, if you're like Stephanie, name one nurse you wouldn't want when you're sick. Yuka Tako Aka and Lucy Letby. But like, are you kidding me? A nurse? Yuka said that she was inspired by this incident, inspired by attempting murder, that she wanted to help others from now on. She actually obtained her qualification while out on bail.
Excuse me?
The trial started December 3rd, 2019, and reporters did notice something very strange. When Yuka was brought in for the trial, Phoenix looked over at her and gave her a warm smile.
That doesn't
It
surprise
wasn't a
me.
smirk, it wasn't a weird, creepy smile. It was a genuine, nice smile.
That doesn't
And the
surprise
reporters
me at
were
all.
like, what is going on? This girl tried to stab you and kill you. Phoenix would state to the courts that he already forgave Yuka.
Yeah.
Before the trial, Yuka had sent him a long letter that read, sorry for the sudden letter, and she just apologizes. I mean, I can read part of it, but it's just the most basic apologies. Like, I understand you must feel anger, pain, and frustration, and suffering will only increase towards me, and I should disappear. I'm sorry. It must have been more painful than I can. It's like those words.
Yeah.
It's a really long letter, and just, I'm sorry is like every other sentence. A lot of netizens felt like the amount of time she said I'm sorry became so repetitive that it almost lost all meaning towards the end of the letter. And I feel like with this letter, I didn't particularly feel genuine remorse.
Oh,
And nobody would
interesting.
have blamed Phoenix if he didn't either.
Yeah,
Most
no.
people in his shoes would have just ripped up the letter and not even think about it. But Phoenix, he thought long and hard and decided to tell the judge that he didn't want to push for harsh punishment. He wanted her to take her own apologies and words to heart
Yeah.
and to change. Live a normal life, of course without him in it.
Wow.
Like, stay the
Phoenix
fuck away
did
from
settle
me.
a civil suit with Yuka where he was awarded $40,000 for his injuries, but that all went to medical bills, and it's honestly nothing considering all the physical therapy that he had to undergo, the mental trauma. So even though he was compensated, he doesn't need to tell the court to be lenient with Yuka.
Mm-hmm.
But Phoenix continued, I feel partly at fault for what happened. He said he had no idea Yuka was engaging in work to pay for the bottles at the bar. He said, had he known, he would have
Oh.
treated her very differently because of the mental toll that can take on someone.
Oh.
He said that.
Okay, so here's the thing. One, I'm not surprised that he forgave her. Mostly because I think he has an empathetic. From everything that we know so far about that human, he seems pretty empathetic. Like, and he also seems to be very complying, in the sense that like he didn't have to comply with any of Yuka's requests. He did not have to report if he was with any other clients. He did not have to report any of those things to her, but he did. I will say people who grow up in the system and know when people are treating you like shit, a lot of times it's easier to be compliant to get out of the situation instead of keep fighting back. As someone who's gone through a lot of shitty situations in life, I feel like I'm a lot more patient person because of those things, because I give so many people grace. Because you never know mentally what's going on. But I understand his thought process of being like, if I knew this situation was happening, I would have treated that person differently, because they know firsthand somewhat of what that could possibly feel like. So, like, the empathy of it. But still, like, no one would have been angry with him blowing up, being like telling them to do the worst and blah blah blah, and to never forgive them, and like things like that. Like no one would blame them, but I, as a person, as a character, it kind of tracks. So
This was partly his fault, and he just wants her to be happy. There are mixed feelings about whether or not Yuka feels genuine remorse, and if she should have a second chance back in society. This debate is not including the people that are sexualizing and romanticizing her. Side note, her fans started a GoFundMe to bail her out of jail. They raised $4,000 in 2 days. The donation link was mass reported and eventually taken down.
Yeah, good.
Crazy. It's crazy. Yeah, I mean, she's being praised for being basically pretty. This is pretty privilege at its finest.
It's pretty privilege.
And for her resembling some sort of real life anime character trope.
Crazy.
Yeah. But sane-minded people were wondering, okay, is she genuinely going to change? Or should she allowed to have a second chance?
Yeah,
or not? Is she
that part.
dangerous? Taking
Is
all
she
those things
allowed
into
to?
consideration, the judge sentenced Yuka to 3.5 years for attempted murder.
Yeah, no, that makes
Yuka
sense.
burst into tears at her sentencing. She was sobbing so hard her whole body was shaking.
Oh,
And Phoenix's request
but like
to
that
not
makes
harshly
sense. Sorry,
punish
I
her
didn't mean to say
probably played a huge
Okay, I didn't mean to say to a literal murderer, but like, yeah, no. She, I don't know. It's hard. This one's hard. There's a lot of layers to this one. She did obviously still try to kill someone, but mental state wise, do we know mentally fully there? Was she still in Delulu when he was doing this and going through all the mania of it? Because she seems like someone that tends to have mania. Just from like stories talking about when she was like a kid and stuff like that. And like how she like was so full force and focused. Oh, sorry, and that one individual. Yeah, sorry, I pressed play again. But yeah, no, I don't know. It's a messy one.
Sounds really light to me. Thankfully, the courts made it so that Yuka is no longer allowed in the red light district of Tokyo.
That makes sense.
At least Phoenix will have some peace of mind if he continues to work in the industry. He was already having nightmares at the hospital. The last thing he needs is to be at work and have this looming fear that Yuka's just going to show up one day at his workplace, acting like nothing happened. Like, hey, babe. But Yuka should be out in a few months, February of 2024.
Oh, that's
From
really
what we know,
soon.
she has been well behaved in prison and plans to pay her parents back for the settlement that they paid Phoenix.
Oh, shit.
She said that she's also willing to face all the social consequences when she gets out.
Oh, okay.
Meanwhile, Phoenix is doing well physically and can finally eat and talk
Oh,
normally like
yay,
before.
Phoenix.
But because his liver was damaged in the attack, he can no longer drink alcohol.
Oh,
And for
that kind of
reason, there was
sucks.
always this looming threat that Phoenix wouldn't have a job.
Oh.
Because, drinking is such a big part of being a host. But his work family pulled through.
Oh.
Now at work, the other hosts take all of his drinks for him. And I don't think any of his new or old clients care that he's not drinking.
Yeah.
They're actually all fascinated by his story. It's definitely a strange situation.
Yeah.
Phoenix was almost murdered. He has a scar on his stomach to prove it. But his popularity in the clubs was skyrocketing afterwards.
Damn.
It's kind of dark, but
Make you
everyone
bad.
wants to know what's so special about Phoenix that a pretty young girl would throw her life away to try and kill him.
Wow.
To become so obsessed with him. It's dark.
That's dark.
But Phoenix just kind of embraces it. He survived, and he's making the best out of it. He even said he's kind of thankful that people are interested in his story because it's helping pay his bills.
Yeah. Oh.
He said,
Get you
I
back.
don't hold a grudge. I think there was a reason for her to stab me. It's also kind of thanks to her that I'm able to achieve sales that I did in less than a year since I became a host.
Oh.
I mean, this guy really knows how to see the silver lining.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, Phoenix
Which
was later
tracks with
interviewed
them
in his
as
new
a
club,
person.
The Servant of Eve. He told the story of how he was stabbed, which we already went over. But it's just really interesting to see him in his element. I'm sure it was thrilling for journalists to go there and interview him and seeing all the women around him. Phoenix looks really relaxed. He has silvery, like a silvery hue to his hair, and he just looks straight out of a boy band. He's telling the story of his stabbing, and every once in a while, a woman would lean in and get a strand of hair out of his eyes. Yeah, it's just very fascinating.
Yeah.
You would not be able to tell that just a few years ago, he had been nearly murdered.
Yeah.
So he's doing great. What are your thoughts on this case? Let me know in the comments. Have you heard of Yandere before this? Have you heard of Host?
I did.
Let me know. And I hope you guys enjoyed. Please stay safe, and I will see you guys on Wednesday.
You too. You
Bye.
too. That was great. That was a good one. I feel like, okay, halfway through, I felt like I did actually know a little bit about the story, but I'm not sure where. But regardless of that, yeah, that one was complex. There was a lot of moving parts in that one. But I'm glad I watched it. And it was very closely related to a lot of things that I currently am involved in. And no, that was good. That was a good one. So like I said before, I literally just came back on because I wanted to, if anyone saw my last live, I was literally on the brink of starting to have a panic attack because my partner, was having a medical thing going on, kidney stones again, and he's had surgeries in the past before due to them, so I was ready to fully run to my car and go to wherever they were going to be, but they said that they feel fine, that everything is fine, and I'm hoping it stays that way, but they need to go see someone, and they need to drink some damn water, which reminds me, drink some water. If you're lurking, if you're watching this in the future, how's the future like? But also drink the water. Please drink the water. If anything of my meltdown that happened once I turned off stream because I didn't know what was going on and I didn't know what was going to happen, and then me having to calm myself down so that I can get back on camera again, if that said anything, it is for you then to drink the water. Please drink the water. Do the water. Drink the water, please. Please, I beg of you, drink the water. But anyways, once again, I literally did the stream just so that when I can update you too, I can stream again. I don't know what I'm doing. But that is actually going to be it for me. I just wanted to watch the one Rotten Mango video, and I'm still trying to figure out if I've seen this one, though. That's still what I'm trying to figure out, and I don't know if I have. I think I have, maybe. But I think I watched it in the background of another reactor watching this one. So it was like a video that played while I was cleaning, because some parts felt familiar, but some parts didn't. So it could have been a situation where I was watching someone else react to this one, and I then wasn't fully paying attention, only kind of got the cliff notes of it, so like some of the things. But I will say that the game that they were referencing, I did watch someone play that, but I still for the life of me cannot remember who I saw play through that game. But I do not remember the upskirt shots. I do not remember that, but I do remember like it was like a whole like stabbing thing, and I think there was like a bathroom involved, and I think there was also like at some point there was if the guy notices you or you get caught, like you also lose as well, and they like creeped out by you, and like that, like you lose again. I don't know. I remember something along those lines. But anyways, that's gonna be it for me. I did once again get confirmation about working the front desk tomorrow, and I think I'm going to take it. I think I'm going to work the front desk tomorrow, meaning I'm gonna be live early. Um, Probably around probably around 11. I'll probably stream from 11 to about 3. I want to be on the road at 3:30. What is that? 12, 1, 2, 3. So like about 4 hours. It won't be the longest stream, but it won't be the shortest. Maybe I'll retry Jump King again. Might do that. But yeah, regardless of all of that, I'm gonna be skedaddling. I hope all of you had a nice warm meal today. You got to see a loved one this week. I hope you're having a good day, good night, good evening, good morning, good afternoon, all those words, wherever you are. If you're watching this from the future, tell me what the future is like. Consider subscribing to my channel because I'm working so hard. I'm trying to get things out and get things organized and promote more. Because I need something to focus on right now that's not my deteriorating life and also social skills. But anyways, I'm gonna get going. I will see you all later, and goodbye. And I'm gonna sing the goodbye song because this is really awkward. Cause if I end too soon, then it will cut off what I'm saying because I have a delay on and I don't know how to fix it. And I don't know how to fix it, but I think it's good.